Hello, one and all, to a very wet Silverstone for another round of Superlights in 2026. This is round 8, halfway through the season. And we have got, alongside myself, Toby Davis, Carlos Martin today. And Carlos is joining us for the second time in a row, having not done any commentary this season at all till now. Carlos, I mean, this sort of came from nowhere a little bit, this rain. It's very, very wet out there. And you can see blue, full wet tyres are being used on the cars. And it's going to change everything.
Yeah, it will change everything, definitely. This car doesn't really like the rain at all. Whoever drove this car in the rain can tell you that the car has a lot of wheel spin and it lacks a lot of front grip. And if any team actually prepare a full, oh wow, as we see the rookie monster just sliding all over the place. If any team prepared a rain focus setup, it can take the win tonight, so anyone can win tonight, and we expected a pretty boring Silverstone race like always, right? That is just DRS train nobody was taking. But tonight I feel like, yeah, no DRS, but it's gonna be pretty insane.
And the other factor is, obviously, with the rain coming in so late, it's been sunny in the UK for weeks now. I suspect a lot of people have been caught short on practice in terms of preparing for rain, and we're watching some drivers sort of in practice now losing control, spinning out, as you say, mixture of inters and wets. No one really is prepared for this.
No, nobody is prepared for this, not even, it looks like, well, we'll see how the championship leaders are doing today. Aaron Foulkes is not racing today, so everyone has a perfect chance to catch up on points on him, but at the same time, this is the kind of race that Aaron would love to miss, because many of his rivals, they could do mistakes and then not deduct many points from him.
Yeah. So we'll bring up the standings now, just so you guys can have a little look at what we're talking about. Aaron is leading the championship by a substantial margin. As you can see, he either wins or comes second when he's racing. He's missing, I believe, the next couple of rounds at least, driving in real life in Skip Barber over in America. So kudos to Aaron for that. But it is, as you say, it's going to enable some other drivers to catch up if they can survive. And we're looking at the likes of Matej Schmeicher, Oliver Taras, Sandeep Singh always goes well in the UK, in Silverstone. And we're also, Yasser Lahtinen, I believe, is no longer driving. Is that correct?
Yeah, it seems like Yasser is taking a break for Apex GP. So this is like a very sensitive pullback from the grid. And for today, Alex Leroux is replacing Yasser, but Alex is the last race he can do this year. So Apex will really need to find someone if they want to contest for the Constructors Championship, which at the moment they are second, trailing behind Hyperion. And then another opportunity for the others who are trailing in the Constructors Championship, like Optiminal, who right now, Ruven is full-time racing, but I believe also Optiminal was looking for a second driver in Optiminal.
Yeah, so Joseph Herlock returns for Optiminal. Wow. And he's plenty good enough driver, so we'll see whether he can recover some of his previous form. He's done pretty well in Superlights in the past. Should also mention there was a couple of penalties from the last round at Imola. Patrick Magnussen got a 10-second time penalty for making contact with Luke Mitchell on the first lap, with Mitchell and Vasquez. And Luke Mitchell himself got a 5-second time penalty for contact with Pascal Paulens. So the KB86s and Luke Mitchell. Let's keep an eye out on those guys and whether they can keep it clean at this round as well.
Very important now in the qualifying. I see the weather, and do not trust me at all, or do not trust Toby or whatever we say, but it looks like the rain intensity is going to increase in the next 7 minutes. So it's really important the first time lap these drivers are able to set right now. And it seems like at the end of the session there will be less rain, but I'm not sure it will be drier than what it is now. So big time now.
Yeah, that's our current and latest and most up-to-date weather prediction. We'll keep you guys informed on that. It can change. Rain is currently in the air across the UK. It's raining outside my window in sunny South Wales right now, which is nice. It means I don't have to water the plants. I'm sure Tash did it earlier today. But nevertheless, we are in the UK. In THR, the setups are all called Rainy Island. They're not far wrong. So yeah, we've got a 15-minute qualifying session, and it could well be that the first lap will be the best. Although it's already pretty wet out there, isn't it, to be fair, Carlos? I can't really see any sort of drier line out there. It looks like the tyres haven't cleared the track, and it's just pretty saturated out there.
It's pretty saturated, but Daniel Scott is one of the few drivers who is on the wet tyres. I see Alex Lehoux, Luis Mesa, Sandeep Singh on the Inters, Ivan Leonov as one on the Inters, as well as Harry Smith. So we see the rookie Monsters driver starting the lap. He is one of the very few. Magnusson as well on the wets, and Saracino also on the wets. And we'll have to keep an eye on how this is evolving, as we see a lot of wobbling out of turn 2. We can see how difficult it is to steer and to put the power down. Doing here the corner in 3rd gear, barely even steering at all, completely missing the apex. 4th gear, 5th gear is not driving the car at all, and just being very, very, very scared to put the power down. Just clinching at the end in the Hunger Straight, and we can see the fastest so far, it's 33.7, so Daniel is just 7/10 of the pace here in Sector 1, going through Lafille now. And this exit is super important, very difficult to put the power down as well, doing in 4th gear. And now just the very scary corner in the wets, because in the dry I would say it's way easier, which is Copse. You have to go down at least 2 gears, I would say. Daniel keeps it in 6th, but I think it was maybe better to do it in 5th gear. And now we go through Magots, Beckett's and Chapo. And we see how careful the rookie Monster driver is. We see it for the moment. The fastest Sector 2 is a 44.0, and he does 45.0, so overall is 1.7 seconds. So it seems like the current tire for these conditions, it's the intermediate.
Yeah, Alex Lehoux, you're referring to, is set a purple. He's absolutely flying. He's miles quicker than anyone else on track right now. In, as you say, standing in that Apex Grand Prix car, crosses the line of 47.0 for him, and that is the benchmark. Only Machado is within a second of him. The time's tumbling as we finish that first lap. Harry Smith crosses the line. He's made a mistake on that lap, 7 seconds off the pace. Joseph Herlock, he's done a reasonable first sector, a middle sector 7/10 off. Let's see what he can do towards the end of the lap, as we said. Deputising in that optimal for Jan Dragoon, who has pretty much decided that he doesn't like the car too much. And Joseph, P4 for him, but 1.3 seconds off. Lehoux absolutely bossed it there.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? He lost 5/10 in Sector 3 compared to Luis Mesa. So it was not even a perfect lap for Alex. Yeah, it's really tricky conditions. So we see Giuseppe Saracino, 1.7 seconds off the lead, which 1.7 seconds can place you P8 right now, which is a really great position for Team Shiba, which is one of the least developed cars, struggling through the last section. At the end goes for P13. And the drivers, let's see if their next attempt is actually better, because the rain intensity, it changed again. It seems like it's going to be really, really intense rain for the upcoming minutes. So let's see if it stays like this until the end.
Yeah, it's we're using live weather from tomorrow.io, and that is a weather plugin for rFactor 2 to keep us really freshly up to date. But it can change, and the weather in the UK tends to be less consistent rain and more like showers that come in sort of bands of weather, which can really mess up people's races when you get a dry spell followed by a rain shower. Let's keep an eye on that, but it is raining very, very heavily. Let's see if those Inters are still the fastest tyre come the end of the session, and whether that is a gamble people will take at the start of the race as well. There is a crossover point. The Inters are a very flexible tyre, and do quite well this season, all the way up to dry conditions compared to previous seasons where we've seen, for example, last season at Mexico in Super League, where Loic Meunier was able to finish the race on slicks in fairly, you would say fairly confidently it was into conditions. This year, that is not quite the case. Slicks you need almost a dry track for slicks, as Scott Flack completes another lap, still 7 seconds off on that one. And it looks like the track is getting worse, as Alex Lahou has done a second lap, not improved. In fact, nobody's improved. Nope. And I think the other thing is, Carlos, you fuel up for a few laps here, don't you? You don't just do the one. And it's making a difference.
Yeah, for sure. You need to get used to these driving conditions. Probably they don't get much experience from before to drive exactly in such a heavy rain. So even though you cannot improve, it's just really important to learn for these race conditions. No, if the rain goes absolutely bonkers, you just fill the tank, you remove the quali mode that we have available here, and you start learning for the race, because it looks very difficult to actually improve. I see some drivers that they are really trying, but they are like half a second, so maybe it's worth to keep on it. But way more drivers right now are on the wet tires.
Yeah, and I think that's more now a case of testing out the conditions and what the sort of crossover points are for the start of the race, because, yeah, clearly the track is not as good as it was at the very start of the session. Looking at the lap times, you can follow along if you go to race-view.com. There does appear to be a slightly drier line there for Victor Bernat as he comes through, deputising in that green stripes, but it's not much, and I think that's more a case of cars have gone round the track as opposed to it's actually making the dry line any better. I say dry line in inverted commas. It's not dry at all out there, as you can see the spray coming as he comes through Luffield and onto the... Oh, Victor! He managed to get onto the brakes and save that one. Well done. But that is the challenge, isn't it? Under traction, this car is difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially for a track like Silverstone, where normally suspensions are quite stiff. You want the car to have quite some brake for these very high-speed corners. So therefore, these very high-speed orientated setups, they tend to struggle so much in these conditions. Whereas the slower corner setups, which here in Silverstone, general terms, they don't work as well. They should be way better, and as the rain is coming, the speed of the corner is reduced as well, so it just works even better and even better. So yeah, and these people who have a really good setup for the high speed, unless they decide to change, they will struggle so much. Although I start to see some green sectors right now, but they are mainly from people who are further back in the grid. I see Jorge Martinez improving on the position as well, even with the wets, up to P6. It was from P8 to P6. So there are some improvements. Victor Granadero also improving overall, just setting a P9. It wasn't the greatest last sector. But I see also Pollens, almost, he did a mistake as well in the last sector. But it seems like... there are still some chances, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, if enough cars are out on track, they'll help clear the rain. Andrzejewski, of course, is one of those drivers who has been competitive this season, currently P19 for him. So there's guys out there who are struggling and haven't set a good lap time early on. So, yeah.
Yes, Sandeep is third now. Yeah, he jumped to third. Yeah, it's improving. The track is improving. Yeah. And the weather, it says it's going to stop to rain in 3 minutes. And very light rain now. So, yeah, take your guesses. Today is the day to not win the lottery, I would say. Or to win it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the other thing is, obviously, some of these guys are out there on full wets. This could now be back to winter conditions if it does... if the rain, we can see actually on track, you can see those less rainy patches. I'm not going to call them dry line, but you can see where the cars have run over the track and maybe released some of the spray. And here's Luke Mitchell then, down in P11 at the moment, again on those full wets. And it's, wow, he's power sliding out of Stowe as he comes towards Club Chicane. The last couple of corners on track these days. Misses the apex slightly for the first part. Very sideways through the second part. That was a nice little power slide. But it won't be quick. You want to get that traction pointing forward rather than sideways. And indeed, he lost time in that final sector. And Luke Mitchell, P6 in the championship. King's doing a fairly decent job in 6th place. But yet to show, sort of, Luke's yet to show anyway, the pace he had towards the end of last year in that car and really fight for a win.
Yeah, I think they are both of the Mitchell brothers. They improved so much this year. I think Luke is more consistent, even though he's been unlucky. Consistent in terms of the raw pace, right? The raw pace has been very consistent. And Scott Mitchell, when he was participating, he did awesome. Maybe at Imola was a bit weaker for him. Bit of some mistakes in qualifying just punish him so much. Whereas we see Harry Smith on board, which is a bit the opposite of what the Kings are doing this year. Despite the fact he's P8, P9 in the championship, he's done a slight step backwards because of this injury we mentioned the other stream 2 weeks ago. But regardless, he's really struggling, and we can see here even in the wet how much struggling he is. It's a very different car compared to last year. Last year, huge amount of downforce. This year, it's way reduced. And the power delivery this year, it's way more tricky.
Yeah, you've got to be really sensitive on the throttle, and the torque comes in at sort of in a different way to what we're used to. Here's Mateusz Majka. He's done a green first sector. One of only 4 drivers to win a race this season in Superlights. Aaron Vasquez obviously has 4. Majka has 1. Taras has 1. Andrzejewski the other. And Mateusz winning last time out at Imola, just holding off Aaron and taking victory for Hyperion. He's done 2 green sectors now. And is this enough to move him up the field? It could well be, you know. He's only 6/10 off Alex's pole time, and of course Alex had that poor final sector as well. It's Luke Mitchell has jumped up to P3, and this is the full wet tire as well. So if anyone's brave enough to stick a set of inters on, they might fly here, as Alex Lahou has just set a purple final sector and improved his time slightly. Majka goes up to P2, and Lahou on the full wet as well, having improved his time, shows that there is still some pace, and it might well be, Carlos, that the last person to cross the line gets the best track conditions here.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it that the rain has ceased the intensity pretty drastically. So everyone should look for a really late attempt. And here there is no risk of having any invisible debris or anything, because the walls are very far away, like it would be in Canada or a street circuit track. So there is no reason to not try to hold yourself for a really late last attempt. And so far everyone is mostly improving, so nobody's safe. I would say maybe the only one who is safe is Alex, who is actually doing a purple in sector 2 right now.
And the range just started again as well, so this is going to be last chance saloon for everyone. I think Alex may well improve on this lap, because that first sector was very close as well for him. As Saracino has set a poor middle sector and has now run off track as well. Gobby moves himself up to P8 there, and Fabrizio, we know he's quick on his day as well. Joseph Herlock P5, as we saw, and Andrzejewski is on a lap but hasn't improved.
Saracino spun, got stuck in the gravel, and yeah, Lahou improves. P1.
Slightly, but still P1, and that secures that, I would say. Singh is flying, actually, and must have just got to the line in time as the session ends. So this is it for everyone. Comes through Cops, the Netrex driver, trying to improve on his current 7th place position. And to be honest with you, the gaps are so large, he could easily move up to P2, 3, as Taras goes to the front row now. In the other apex, there's a purple middle sector, or purple final sector for Markinez. He's in P5. And Mitchell dropping down to 6th as a result. And Singh could do something here. He could move himself all the way up to the front row. Let's see what happens. Mitchell's still on a lap as well, so we'll keep an eye on him as Singh comes towards the final couple of corners, Carlos.
Yeah, he's doing a great lap. He's aiming for a P2, now heading into the club chicane, just heading into the very last turns of the track, missing a bit of traction, but still clean enough. I think he's going to secure this P2. And how is the English driver doing? Yeah, P2 for a purple sector 3 as well, just a few thousands in front of Leroux in sector 3. And I think maybe Luke is just the last driver on a lap, I think, but yeah, well, Fernando Guerrero spins into the last corner and crashes into the inside wall as Luke Mitchell goes... well, we see Mirko Lucchini on a lap. It shouldn't be. It should be over for him. Yeah, I think that's everything for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So qualifying then. Pole position goes to Alex Leroux with a 33.1. Only driver in the 33s, and he was nearly in the 32s. A great lap from him in the end.
Wait,
Lewis, these times don't look right.
Yeah, these times are from the warm-up, I think. Yeah.
Anyway, let's try and get the qualifying
the
results up.
Yes, I can tell you the results. Alex Leroux P1 with a 46.9, Sandeep Singh with a 47.2 is P2, Oliver Taras P3, Mateusz Majka P4, Ruben Mechede P5, Jorge Martinez P6, Luke Mitchell P7, Joseph Horlock P8, Fabrizio Govi P9, and closing the top 10, Patrick Magnusson in P10. Returning to GPV, Ivan Leonov P11, Victor Granadero P12, Pavel Andrzejewski P13, Daniel Scott P14, good qualifying for rookie monsters at the end. Scott Mitchell-Mann P15, Scott Flack P16, Pascal Pollet P17, Luis Meza P18, Lorenzo Di Ciutis P19, Giuseppe Saracino P20. And then Federico Russo P21, Fernando Guerrero P22, Harry Smith P23, Scholz Hooks P24, Victor Vernac P25, Menno Klon P26, Perseus Miriam P27, Osvaldo Angelone P28, and Mirko Lucchini P29 without a lap. So that's the qualifying. Any surprising results to you, Toby, for tonight?
Not mega. I mean, it's obviously one of those sessions where anything can happen, right? Jolt Schux has been competitive this season, down in 24th. We've alluded to Harry Smith, but obviously he would have hoped for a little bit better. Andrzejewski, a race winner, 13th. Not ideal for him, but it's not the end of the world either with this sort of race. You would say Mike with Foulkes not here. Micah being P4 will want to maximise the amount of points he takes from this round. We'll hope for a little bit better than that come the race. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, where you pluck. I mean, you just got to pluck a lap out of nowhere in these sorts of conditions, haven't you? And hope that what you've put together is better than what everyone else has put together in changeable conditions. It can change corner by corner. The grip level is so hard to put a proper lap together.
Yeah, and I would say Apex, from going from a double zero on pure pace at Imola to lock in P1 and P3 in the grid is a massive jump. Of course, the Leroux effect is real, right? I mean, he also raced at Imola, but he didn't win. Still doing a good result in P3. But yeah, Mateusz is in a great position. But this is exactly what Oliver and Sandy, who are also the alternatives to Arona, I would say, should do, right? Heading into Imola, they were ahead of Mateusz, and they had both the zeros and did not participating, and Oliver, the greatest stinker of all time. Yeah, they need this kind of reaction if they want to contest for the championship as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a long road, isn't it? The rest of the season, we're halfway through now. Plenty of races left, and with Aaron being away for a few rounds, it's going to enable some drivers to catch up. We shouldn't really focus on the championship too much, but it's definitely something drivers will be thinking about over the next few races and start to sort of, really sort of develop their title challenges.
Who is your bet for tonight's race win? And don't tell me, just Be brave, Toby. Be brave.
So, Ruben Macheda has been on it over the last couple of weeks. He's showing very good pace. He's racing on Thursday. Do I think he can win? Possibly. He's not far off. He's in that sort of top 5, isn't he? So I would say, I mean, I would say that would be my sort of out there pick. I also think Sandeep Singh has got the experience in these sorts of conditions, in this sort of changeable race. So one of those two, from allowed to.
I feel spicy today to say a weird name to win the race. I feel very spicy because I feel like a lot of wrong decisions are gonna come along the way, and it's gonna be. I think the safe bet is to say Alex to win, because even if he makes wrong decisions, he looks so miles ahead of everyone that maybe he gets even a big enough gap to pit. But I'm gonna go very crazy. I see in P6 Jorge Martinez. He is a legend or a buffoon. I think today he's gonna be a legend and he's gonna win the race. He's buffoon. Mostly he's buffoon. And we're friends and we can chat like that. But I don't know. I have a weird feeling that he's gonna DNF lap 1 and he's gonna pit whenever it's drying up and set another set of inters or whatever. But hey, if I just jinxed him, it's rather be me. It's rather be me.
Fair enough. I mean, I can't argue with any choice. To be honest with you, it's not like it's just going to be one of those races that's a bit out there in terms of what happens. And if the rain does go up and down and changes, maybe it's going to be a random driver who wins. And I think it's going to be about minimising the number of pit stops you make as well.
Yes.
But balancing that with being on the right tire at the right time, which is really hard. Sometimes, like if it dries up, for example, and then it rains, if you pit for wet tyres and then the rain stops, you've made 2 pit stops, you've lost 45 seconds or so. That's not recoverable. But if it rains for 5 laps and you're 10 seconds off the pace on slicks, and then it stops, that driver who's made 2 stops is caught up with you. So it's one of those sorts of races. How do you do it? Like, when do you pull the trigger? Do you just go straight away and hope it carries on raining? Or vice versa. If it dries up, do you go to slicks and hope it doesn't rain again? That's the key.
Yeah, that's the key, absolutely. And let's just speak about our thumbnail team for today, which is Rookie Monsters. This year they've been struggling a bit compared to last year. I think last year they had a really great debut, considering where they were coming from, where they were like a mid-tier, let's say, FS1 team which decided to promote to SL2, and this promotion was given to them. And last year I think they exceeded expectations even from themselves. They did a really, really, really good season. But I think this year they are, in my opinion, they are doing the season I was expecting from them last year. And maybe I was expecting more of a similar season what they had last year. This year I know they are struggling a bit more with the testing, with the setup, and with availability even from the drivers. So yeah, Daniel, the team leader of the team, has been as we see, banging on the wall right now. Sorry for that. But yeah, they're struggling a bit, and maybe today is a day they can bring some points. They always try to finish the races, get out of trouble. They try at their best. That's a bit their motto, rather than speeches. The consistency and never give up.
Yeah, and Daniel Scott has had plenty of first lap retirements this season, which is obviously not ideal, and he had one in Super League where he stalled on the grid. He's just had such bad luck all season, and hopefully it turns around for them. As you say, they are good guys. Robin Merling, I don't think is going to race. If not, I mean, he's on and off, isn't he, at the moment, whether he races or not. And Obviously, Scott Flack is there, which is going to be very confusing for me, as we've got Daniel Scott and Scott Flack. But yeah,
Oh,
Robbie
God.
Merling has done a couple. So yeah, it's Scott Flack. Obviously, different time zone for him, and that's a big thing as well, isn't it? Getting up and racing when you're in a different part of the world is. And to be fair, we've got a South American as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have Osvaldo Angelone in stacks, and for him it's just the opposite. Is I think Colombia is 7 hours. 6 hours compared to the UK. Sorry, for Spain it's 7, I think. So yeah, 6-7. You can get it there. It's fine. As we see another crash. And as we see Angelone being P7 right now, it's just everything is in concordance right now. But yeah, at least for him, it's during the day, right? It's not you need to wake up in the middle of the night to race, and then after that you have to go to work or anything, which is really tough, I would say. I'm not sure if I would be able to do that in my 30s. Maybe in my very early 20s or late in the 18s or 19s for sure. But now, so props to Scott Flack for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on a Tuesday night, you've got the rest of the week to, worry about sleep-wise and stuff. I'd probably be more likely to do it if it was a Thursday night Super League. You've only got to get through the Friday at work. But yeah, props to the commitment to the cause. It's very much a European series. GPVWC, and that's where we are. There's a lot of sim races in North America, South America, and obviously Asia as well. But the time zones don't always work, and we've never been a weekend league either. It's always been during the week, and that's fine. It's just how it is. But it does sort of limit us to a few sporadic drivers who are prepared to get up and challenge in a different time zone. So unsung heroes, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, I have a weather update, and it looks like because ask me in 5 minutes, it looks like Iceland weather. Ask me every 5 minutes, I'm gonna tell you something different. It looks like it's gonna keep the same amount of rain until the end of the race, which is the current one. But as I said, ask me in 5 minutes, because it's absolutely crazy right now.
It looks like light rain, doesn't it, for a while currently, and that is a more consistent weather pattern. It means it's a much thicker band of rain, Carlos. So that is more likely to be an accurate prediction than this sort of like heavy rain and then dry spells in between, which obviously can really change a lot throughout the race with these sort of bands of rain. But if it's a consistent cloud base with a lot of drizzle, then it's going to be more likely to be consistent, and that's what we're looking at right now. It can change. It's the UK, it always changes, but it's looking like light rain for the foreseeable. Now the big question is, what tyre would you start on if it's just light rain? Because we saw Inter's very competitive in qualifying, and then Alex put it on pole with a set of full wets as well. We've got a bunch of drivers out there on full wets, a couple of drivers trying the Inters. What would you do?
I don't know. This is hard, because the last time we had a race in Superlights where it was FS1, right? It was rainy in Canada, right? I had more of a clear decision what to start on based on how the weather was evolving. But right now, probably the wets based on the qualifying performance. It looked like even to improve the wets were a better tire at the end. Everyone improved on the wet tires, so I guess I would do that. The other thing I would do is, if I had a friend that lives close to Silverstone, just locate the sensor, put the dry tires on, and then just cover the sensor so the sensor is not detecting the rain, so you have the upper hand in the strategy. I think that's the master plan.
Yeah, the problem is you don't know where all the... it's very hard to get to some of the sensors. They are actually protected sometimes, especially ones at airports. You can't get anywhere near them. Apart from that famous incident, at Charles de Gaulle Paris Airport, where someone who placed a bet on rain in the driest spell of the year and decided to pour water on it, and that's where they took their information from. He was caught, and therefore it didn't count. But still, an amusing story nonetheless.
Yeah, don't use this against me if suddenly it starts drying up. So I don't want to go to the disciplinary committee to make explanations. But yeah, it seems like the weather is just being stable for now, and it's in these conditions that are most likely into the wets, I would say. I think it's a safe bet, and if you're starting in the top 10, I don't think there is any reason to risk anything else.
It's tricky, isn't it? It is tricky. Nobody knows what's going to happen at this point. And but yeah, it's hard to guess.
It's well, not the hard tire, for sure. The hard tire is not for tonight's Toby. But yeah, the question would be, we didn't check the top speeds. It's something I also love to check. So I'm gonna check right now if somebody did some adaptations right to the setup, because normally this track is a track where top speed is valuable, because being so fast, this track, you really want to reduce the drag. And I'm watching here the top speeds. And actually, the lowest top speeds are Scott Flack and Mateusz Majka with 300 kph, although the rest are not too far behind. Alex Lehus, for example, 305, same for Sandeep Singh, which is 305. And then the rest are in the mix of 303 and so on. There are some drivers with 308 as well. But yeah, it looks like, Pavel also 299. So it looks like the Hyperion adapted the car a bit more for these conditions. So maybe in the race, this bumps them up.
Yes, indeed. Interestingly, the top speeds, as you say, I think a lot of drivers will have put some wing on for the wet conditions, right? But still, it's one of those where you can't necessarily get it 100%. Right, Superlights is coming up. We don't know what we're doing with the tires. We don't know what we're doing with the weather, but we're going to do our best to commentate on it the best we can. Here we are then, everyone. Race time. Round 8 of the Superlights Championship. Everyone is deciding what tyre to go on. It looks like it's between inters and full wets. I suspect we'll see a little bit of a mixture on the grid, with most people leaning towards full wets. But we'll talk about the tyres a little bit more as the formation lap finishes, and we'll just make our way into the formation lap. Now let's go through the starting grid if you hadn't been here for qualifying. Pole position then, standing in at Apex is Alex Lahu with Sandeep Singh for Netrex. Alongside him on the front row, Oliver Taras and Mateusz Majka for Hyperion, 3rd and 4th on row 2. Row 3 for Ruven Macheda in Optiminal, with Jorge Marquinez in the Brame car. In 6th place, Luke Mitchell and Joseph Herlock, 7th and 8th. 9th place for Fabrizio Gobbi in the Stacks, with Patrick Magnussen in 10th. 11th place for Ivan Leonov and Victor Granadoro in TTF. 13th goes to Pavel Andrzejewski. Be disappointed with that, hoping to improve, with Daniel Scott 14th, Scott Mitchell-Marmon, Scott Flack there in 15th and 16th place. 17th position goes to Pascal Paulens, with Luis Mesa in 18th, Giuseppe Saracino and Federico Russo in 19th and 20th. 21st is Fernando Correro, with Harry Smith in 22nd, Joel Schultz and Victor Bernat 23rd and 24th. P25 on the grid for Menno Klont in the Fusion. He's deputising there with Perseus Miram Deputising for Green Stripes, Osvaldo Angeloni in the stacks in 27th, with Lorenzo Ciutis in 28th place. And rounding out the field is Mirko Lucchini in the other Santon. And that is the grid. And they've only made it halfway round. And there's still some choices to be made for a couple of drivers who have decided to start for the pit lane. Lorenzo Ciutis is one of those, probably picking a tyre. Mirko Lucchini is there sitting with his engine running at the end of the pit lane. He's got a long time to wait. I would not necessarily be doing that, even though it is raining. But the field coming through the last sector now, Carlos, and what do you think will happen here? Let's have a quick look at tyres, actually, before the grid is completely settled.
Ooh, Mitchell.
Looks. Yeah. Some gamblers.
Yeah, some gamblers, but at the same time you were mentioning engine, and it's important to notice when it's raining, the engines, they get hotter because you go slower around the lap, you get less top speed, therefore you have less cooling. So watch out from those who took some risks on that they were not expecting the rain today. They might struggle right now. Yeah, interesting to look. He would need to be definitely careful in the first laps. Let's see if it pays up for him or not.
Absolutely right. So the field is set. The lights were about to go on, and the Silverstone Grand Prix for Superlights in 2026 is about to start. It's reset everyone to winters, but that's not true. I'll factor things. Here comes the 4th and the 5th light. And it's away. And Alex Lahou on the right-hand side gets a good jump, actually, and maintaining that first place position. Oliver Taras has got a good launch in the other Apex. It's a 1-2 for the Apex drivers. There's some contact in the background, and I'm afraid to say that looked like it was the Rookie Monsters cars, and it was both of them.
No.
And honestly, Scott Flack cannot get through lap 1 without an incident. It's crazy. Mateusz Majka in P4. Luke Mitchell's dropped back a couple of positions, and Scott Mitchell-Marm, who is also constantly involved in lap 1 incidents last season, has had one of his own.
Yeah, well, that was a really messy start, as Silverstone turn 1 is also very tricky. We see some fightings in the back with Mesa, and also Andrzejewski is losing on so many places. P23 right now. I think maybe there was a contact with Luis. He lacks a front wing. The Hyperion Esports driver. So this is going to be a hard race for him right now, but still with some good chances here in the rain. So we see so many changes. We see Harry Smith P13, he's won so many places as well. So it's been super chaotic in the midfield. Well, we'll need to see some replays in the upcoming laps. But yeah, it looks like Mateusz Majka is also an Inters, or it didn't update to me. No,
it's on wets.
He's on wets. Yeah, the live timing is not updated yet.
Yeah, no, the game live tyre selection that we saw on the formation lap, I think that's accurate. So, yeah, Luke Mitchell is the highest driver on Inters. We'll keep an eye on his lap times. I think with everyone on track now at the same time clearing the way, I suspect that the drier line will become drier with the fact that there is some light rain out there right now, as opposed to heavy rain. It's only 1 mil of rain, if you're interested. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Ooh, as we see some weird lines there, as we are heading into the replays right now.
Let's see what happens.
Scott.
Yeah, the Rookie Monsters must have come together, and I feel like potentially Andrzejewski was involved. Oh dear.
Wow.
That is poor, unfortunately.
Who was on who? Was it Scott? It was
Scott Flack from Down Under coming into the... Yeah, I mean, that's... So he's drilled the back of his teammate, and Pavel Andrzejewski and Scott Mitchell-Marm, complete bystanders, completely innocent in that. He's been... How has he lost his front wing there?
I think he's lost it later on, right? I think he's lost it later on, because I saw changing positions with... Wow. There you go.
Right.
There you go.
What are you supposed to do on that? I mean, there's a lot of spray out there, and of course, and now Andrzejewski's got no front wing. He's made contact with other cars. Nightmare stuff for Pavel Andrzejewski, and he is at the back of the grid now, unfortunately for him.
Yep. Yeah, as we see some purple sectors right now from Alex Leroux, so it seems like he's pulling away from the rest. I mean, there are still chances for Pavel. He just needs to keep going on. It looks like Alex is really making a force, although we don't know the true pace of the Inters. Actually, the first guy on Inters is Joseph Hurlock, it's not Luke. Joseph,
right, yes.
Joseph also started on Inters, but it looks like Joseph is quite close to Jorge, so we really don't know if Joseph has way more.
He's on wets. It is Luke Mitchell.
Okay.
Right, it is on Luke. Yeah. So Luke looks like he's not lost ground, to be fair.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
So, but it's just all about whether this rain intensity goes up or down, isn't it, from here for him? It's a little bit of a gamble, but I get it. And it's not like he's not, as I say, it's not like he's losing time that much. It must be right on the crossover.
Yeah, it must be right in the crossover, and generally when it's right in the crossover, it benefits the wets for the first laps, but then it benefits the Inters back, because they heat up way less. Ooh, as we see, I think it was even Leonov, right, sliding through the rear. So this should go in the upper hand of Luke Mitchell. As we see, for example, nobody of the wets are actually in the top 4 improving sectors right now. So this should go in his favor, at least this is what the logic tells me, as we see a track limit there for Ivan Leonov. So yeah, he might have the upper hand in some laps time if the rain keeps consistent.
Yeah, if it stays consistent and cars still dry that line out, it's not dry, reduce the amount of water there, it's going to make those inters a little bit better. And the other thing is, obviously, if it's on that crossover, you would expect the wets to be overheating slightly, right, and not have the longevity. So I'm going to keep an eye out on Luke Mitchell here. It's not, if his lap times plummet, of course, if the rain increases in some way, then it's going to make it more difficult. I'm very impressed with Alex Leroux, though.
Yeah, Alex is just setting the pace, although the lap times are similar right now between himself and Oliver Taras. So let's see. Overtaking is going to be difficult because without DRS, obviously it's very hard, and the battery, when it's raining, you regenerate so much battery, so there is a lot of power available through the whole lap, so making a difference to make an overtake is going to be really, really tough. So track position, it's even more important than before. So we see a yellow in sector 1, but probably just...
It's not just track position as well, it's also, being able to look after these tyres in these conditions, because you never know when you might... If you make a pit stop too early, as Menno Klont is now out of the race, and it looks like he's missing a front wing. So, not a good race for Rookie Monsters again. And Menno Klont as well for Fusion. I think that's the only Fusion in the race, is now out as well.
Yes, I can't see any other Fusion. Fusion has been struggling to fill a lineup since Maxime and James Knox were starting the season, and since then they are struggling, and let's hope they can find solutions somehow soon, as we see Luis Mesa having some pressure on Harry Smith, struggling to keep up the pace with the group that it has in front. More or less the same thing we saw from him in qualifying, struggling to keep on. And maybe later on in the race with the tires he's able to make good progress, but it doesn't look great for the English driver.
No, it doesn't. Matej Schweikers dropped back a bit from Sandeep Singh, and those top 3, I mean, certainly obviously Alex out there by himself, but the top 3 look like they've got maybe a bit more of a wet engineered setup than what the Hyperion Optimal group might have.
Maybe.
Looking at early stages of this race, of course there's still a long way to go and people doing different things with tyre usage and stuff like that, but for now it's looking quite easy for the Apexes and Sandeep Singh right now at the front.
Yeah, for sure. It looks super easy to drive in these conditions. And you know,
Yeah.
you never know when the weatherman is gonna ring. Watch out! The weather is gonna change right now. So for now, I can say weatherman here. It looks stable. It looks stable. It looks the same shape. It looks everything. Very consistent rain across the whole till the end of the race. We will see how it evolves. Even if Luke maybe starts driving faster, even though he's not made any position yet from the P10. If anyone up the front is willing to take a tire they didn't try in these conditions, because one of the things you really want as a driver is confidence, right? And if there are the same conditions all the time, and they tell you, yeah, it's the crossover, maybe it's better to go for inters. In these very tricky conditions, would you do that? It's a risky one.
It is a risky one, but it's always a risk in these conditions, isn't it? Whatever you do, whether you risk going onto a wetter or a drier tire, it's you just don't know what you're going to do. What I will say is that this could come back to us this race. It does look a little bit processional right now, but people are still figuring out the conditions and where the grips at and stuff like that. And as we get through the race, I suspect that things will heat up a little bit more. And keeping an eye out on tyres used as well. If we have a look at the live timings, Andrzejewski is on inters and is a couple of seconds off the pace of the leaders. But really, Lahu is out there by himself, lap time wise. So last lap time of 49.4, second faster than Andrzejewski. But Andrzejewski, yes, he's in clean air, but otherwise pretty much right there with the pace of Sandeep Singh, Micah, Masheda. So we are still on that crossover. It's just whether it goes the other way.
Yeah, as I said, it's really hard to do an overtake, and in these conditions, as we see some changes of positions. But yeah, it looks like Magnusson and Marquinhos, they don't have the thing, they don't have the pace to follow the top 5. And it looks like decision making, at least for a rain race, if it keeps stable, as we see Fernando Guerrero fighting here in the S's. Probably he lost control of the car, and now he's just trying to keep on for the position, as we see with Victor Rano de Oro, his fellow countryman, also struggling for grip, as we see Fabrizio Gobi maybe trying to go for an outside move. And the drivers are patient for now. But as soon as the laps go on and they frustrate because overtaking is so difficult, we're gonna see a lot of action moves and a lot of dives, and especially into sector 1 and maybe into the club chicane.
I think it's going to stop raining shortly, looking at the weather. So that will change things slightly. Whether or not, pun intended, that stays that way is yet to be seen. But we'll keep an eye on the lap times, keep an eye on the conditions. It is clearly still raining on our screens, but the weather report says it might stop shortly. Which is a change from what it said at the start of the race, and we expected that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, this is the swings of the weather, and here as a driver, you need to keep a bit as we see some mistakes there from, I think it was Fernando Guerrero. Yes, Fernando Guerrero. Yeah, right now you need to keep your mind really cool. Do you really want to lose 20 seconds-ish, right? With what is the pit lane delta, more or less? And then what? You put a faster tire, but then you're not able to progress, and then the rain comes back. It looks like the inters are as good as the wets in more or less these conditions. So what I would do as a driver is just go as long as you can with the yeah. It seems like it's time for inters. So we see some spinning here. Federico Russo losing the car in stow. He rejoined the track safely, now under pressure from Harry Smith. But yeah, it looks like the track right now is for inters. Yep. And yeah, we see Pascal Pollens already heading into the pits. probably setting these inter ones. But I really wouldn't, rush myself. You need to think the long run. It's not just 8 laps the race. The race is 43 laps. So where are you heading by pitting in lap 8? Is it worth to sustain yourself 3 laps more? So maybe you can go as long with these inters, or is the track gonna dry up so fast that maybe you wanna wait a bit more? So it is worth to put the dries. So it's moment for decision making right now.
Yeah. I think with rain in the air, dries are a long way off, but look at Mitchell. He's much closer, isn't he, to the back of... and this is where the crossover's happening. So Mitchell's gamble might work. It's taken a few laps, and he's 16 seconds off the lead, but he's not 16 seconds off, a podium or whatever. He's only 9 seconds off Micah, or 8 seconds off Micah. So, yeah, this could come back to Mitchell over the next few laps, and this is where, do you gamble for a set of inters if you're someone else, given that it could rain again and then easily come back to wets, and Mitchell's the one who's having to make the pit stop? That's the question that people will be asking themselves. Is Mitchell now clearly lining up for a move? He's not going to do it now, but he needs to get on with it a little bit. He's losing a bit of time now behind Leonov, who's dropped a couple of seconds back from Joseph Herlock.
Yeah, well, I think if I was Alex, I would try to land on clean air to not lose time. Everyone is improving so far, and whoever is on inters, they are either stuck, they're not winning this much of time. Yeah, it's the best choice to go on inters now, and we see a lot of drivers who are just setting these inter tires that are doing fine. I'm trying to check on what Pascal Pollens is doing. He's just done a 44.9 in Sector 2, which is the same as Alex did with the Wetzel right now. So probably as soon as the tires get a bit of temperature, as we see also Harris Smith heading into the pits as well. As soon as they get a bit of temperature, they probably are better. As Pascal just did purple Sector 3. So in theory is probably damage. Yeah, probably damage. It's not ideal. I don't know if you can do the
you can
like
if
that.
If you're the lead, if you're in that front grid box, you can. Something we brought up last year. It's almost impossible to actually get into the fast lane.
The THR experience, winning the championship so many years, these small things you have to know. We are newbies on that, so Alex is just smashing Sector 2, but it looks like it's the right moment to pit. But I'm not sure if I would pit if it was him, because it would land on a lot of traffic right now. So I would personally wait, and whoever undercuts you is not gonna undercut you 5 seconds in one lap, right? So
what's the pill delta in these conditions though? Because it's going to change, isn't it? Right? Because
it's shorter. It's probably going to be 18 seconds or 17 seconds. So when it's dry, it's longer. As we see Mike and Machete just going for it. So they're going to try the undercut on Sandeep and Taras.
Luke Mitchell just drove around the outside at the final corner at Club there. That was superb to watch. But Mitchell finally then released from Leonov, getting after Herlock, and obviously Machida had first choice then on the pit lane versus Joseph Herlock. So they will have an undercut, as you say, and the lap times are going to be good. They're still very good for Alex Leung out in front on the full wets, as we just saw side by side then. That was Jutis and Polet. Polet's driving straight clean past him, and Lewis Mesa comes out of the pit lane as well. And Machida's blown his engine.
I told you. These conditions are really tricky for the engine, and if you race very close to someone, it's gonna be really bad. You need to give gap. He was smoking. You didn't see, and the car in front was smoking as well, the Hyperion. You don't cool enough in these conditions, and if you rev up the engine a bit in the pit lane, you might think, it's wet, I'm able to just be safer in the cooling, but
look, he's on the throttle. He was on the throttle all the way in then, and as you say, then it's some of that looks like spray, but it's actually smoke coming out as well, right? And,
Yep.
and there's the smoke, and the engine's gone.
The engine's gone. Yep. Well, for my car, it doesn't really affect him because it was just right behind, and he's challenging for this undercut, and he just made the overtake on Russo. We didn't see that, but Taras, Singh, and Alex didn't pit yet. And Luke Mitchell is setting the purple lap. He's just done a 47.2.
Yeah.
But it looks like Pascal Pollens would be even faster than Luke. So the new tires probably are about to do high 46, maybe mid 46s. Pollens does a 47.1. But probably a driver like Mateusz is able to put a 46 very soon.
As Herlock comes out straight into traffic, and look at the undercut that Pollens has got on him, and has moved himself up into contention there with getting onto those Inter tyres sooner. They're all in a bunch of traffic with still drivers on full wet tyres, as the rain has ceased here at Silverstone. We're on lap 11 of 43, a quarter of the way through the race, and it looks like there is not much more rain to come as Pollens around the outside and fending off Jorge Marquinez there, as right with them is Joseph Herlock. But of course they have got those fresher Inters. Luke Mitchell though, P4 on merit.
Yep, on merit, and I think now is the moment for Alex and Oliver and even Sandeep to pit, because otherwise it's gonna, especially for Sandeep, because Micah is about to undercut you, but the problem is not even Micah. If you land behind all this group of people, then it gets very tricky. So it's very important for the English driver to actually pit this lap, and he's not pitting this lap. So I think that is a mistake by the Network GP driver, and let's see how it goes, because it doesn't look great. Maybe they're waiting for the dry tires.
That's crazy. Oh, Singh's out!
Never mind.
How did that happen? We missed that, so he must have binned it out of the final corner. Maybe toboggan on the... So you can run wide onto the serrated curbs out of the final corner, and it releases the rear grip entirely because you're actually floating on the curb there. Oh no, he's just lost it under power. Oh, that's a lapse of concentration, isn't it?
Probably it just applied the P2P too soon, and when you apply it, and if you're still steering, then it's dead. I think it was, yeah, it looks like it. The electric energy. I think the moment to pit was just that lap, just because of, otherwise he would be facing this. And for Oliver, it kinda goes the same way. He has to pit this lap, otherwise he's gonna face, as we see a lot of chaos here. Victor Grano de Oro going off track. I think he has missing a front wing. Yeah, it's missing a front wing. Probably crashed into the wall there. And Victor Grano de Oro, who was in a really great spot to score points today for TTF Racing, will have to do a big effort to score more. Oh, he was in his own. Yeah, okay, this is the curb. This is the curb, and this curb is just really bad.
This is interesting now. The Inters, if the rain doesn't come back, which it doesn't look like it's going to, this could be a huge gamble. Look, Mitchell's going to lead the race.
Yeah, Mitchell is going to lead the race. An important apex, not double stacking. I think Taras will be behind Micah right now. And it looks like the Inters are a pretty sturdy tire, right, as well. Yeah. It looks like they are really sturdy. So let's see how long Mitchell goes. And also this is info for the rest of the grid, right? If Mitchell is able to go half of the race with it, then the others are learning from this. But it looks like it's going to be pretty dry fairly soon, I would say.
The other advantage that Mitchell has, and obviously we're talking a lot about him because he was the highest up driver to gamble on Inters, is that he has experience of those tyres for a long time now. People are still learning their way with the new grip level and getting caught up in battles and so forth. I mean, look, Jorge Marquinez here behind Federico Russo, who's yet to pit on those wet tyres. It's like they've got to get up to speed, as Joseph Herlock's in the mix as well. That was easy for Jorge. Made that look incredibly simple. And this will be just as easy for Joseph Hurlock as well. Powers past, and those full wets definitely not the right tyre. I'm surprised that Lehu and Taras left it that long. Taras especially has been jumped by Micah. Now I suspect because he's on the wetter part of the track there, making a move on Russo.
Yeah, it's still a bold overtake.
It was. Sorry, I'm talking strategy. I should really be focusing on the race, but nevertheless, Lehu should have enough in hand on Mitchell to make this fairly easy. He's less than half a second back of Luke in the lead of the race. Micah, though, is flying along nicely. He's just set the fastest lap of the race at 44.3. He's only 6 seconds back of Lehu now. And that is the power of that undercut onto those inters. And it also will be up to the drivers to keep these inters in check. It's going to be dry tyres in probably 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky. The lap times right now, they're doing 1:43. For the dries, I expect them to do at least 37, 36 maybe. It's still a very long way. And yeah, even though there is a line and there is no spray right now, the line is so tight. I really wouldn't do that, as we see Alex really close, but it's not going to be easy at all because as we mentioned before, there is a lot of P2P here available just because of the rain, and these Superlights car, they also generate more energy than the Super League ones. So let's see how he makes the position. I think it's pretty fair and square to tell Luke, hey, this is 4th position, even though you are 2 seconds a lap slower, don't give up, you can make it.
I think Joel Schux is on hard tyres.
No way. Oh, it is.
So there's your benchmark.
Ooh, we see Alex going for it for P1 in the braking 2 stow. Just makes it stick. It was a very nice launch from behind. So yeah, also props to Luke Mitchell to see that. But yeah, Zolchuk's with the Hearts not being the greatest tire ever either. So yeah. I don't think this is a great reference. He's been almost 3 seconds off the pace in sector 1.
Yeah. This is early. Yeah, this is early. This is what we're talking about. You can't go too early onto the hards, or the softs, or the mediums, or any dry tire, because the track needs to be very dry, and it's just not there yet. It will be. But it would help if Jolt was driving on the dry line, because he's barely been on it. But we'll keep an eye on his
Russo.
sector times. This is going to... And Russo then, so he stayed out on those full wets, and is probably now going to dry tyres as well, I would say. This is softs. So he's gambled on trying to stay out as long as possible. Gobby, I presume, has done the same thing. It just hasn't updated for us yet. And probably is also on some soft or medium tyres potentially. But yeah, it's one of those races, isn't it? It's all come to life.
It's all come to life, and weatherman, it looks like rain is coming in 9 minutes. It should be very low intensity, but it should be slowly increasing. I would say it's probably just enough to mess up with your mind what to do, what not to do. I think the track for softs, you have to be quite brave. We will have a look on how everyone is evolving on this, but for sure who has to be very aggressive is Oliver Taras. Oliver Taras, after waiting so much to do the tire change, you need to make the overtake on Mateusz Majka, because it's literally for position, as we see Alex Leku doing a 41.8. Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus, that was insane by Joseph Hurlock. Oh, wow.
He held it though. Good car control. The sun's out. You can start to see shadows on the track. It looks like it's going to be slicks momentarily, but it just isn't yet. Gobby span immediately, I've heard, coming out of the pit lane. So it's just not slicks yet, as Guerrero has retired from the race. What's happened to him? See if Fabian can bring up a replay of that. So something
Harry
happened.
Smith is spitting, I think, for softs maybe. So we see the replay from Fernando. Let's see what he
Still
did.
on wets.
Still on wets. he was one of those who decided, oh yeah. But
So
yeah, go ahead.
So that I was going to say that probably the other problem they're now having is the wets are probably incredibly old. So trying to get them to this point, they're probably incredibly worn. As Smith does indeed pit, and he is, well, let's see if it updates. But I don't think he was on Inters. He might have gone to Inters now. So maybe those wet tires have just run out of life, but it's too early for slicks.
Oof, it's very hard to say. If I was in the position of Harry, I would have set the softs. So why not? I don't think it's the moment for Inters to just keep with their own thing. As we see, Joseph Hurlock is the highest wet tire right now. He kept in with the wets. But this is a strategy that maybe you keep them until it's the moment to swap to.
He's on wets.
I mean, the live timing is telling me wets. No, okay, it's not. It's not.
No,
it's not. Okay, live timing is lying to me.
Yeah,
but
there's a couple of driving. Yeah, Pollens is pitting, so he must think it's time for slicks. I can't see anything in anyone's sector times that says it's time for slicks, to be honest with you. Gobby is 2 seconds in sector 1 off the pace. But Pollens obviously thinking it's time. Or has he gone to a new set of Inters? That would be...
Well, Harry's on soft, as long as I can see, but might be lying
Is that rain?
right now. Yeah, I saw rain.
There's a bit of rain out there.
It's 1 minute rain. It's 1 minute rain. According to the weather app, but it should come back in any point. But yeah, it should be fine. I said before, I think the crossover should be about 36, 37. So for now, they're still doing 41s. It's pretty, I would say, still not the moment. Maybe 36 is too optimistic, and maybe it's more into the 37s and 38s. But yeah, I think it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, Gobby on softs just did a 47.6. Alex the Who out front, 41.1.
Yep. I mean,
so softs is not, well, dry tyre is not the one, and indeed the sky has darkened, and there's a bit of rain in the air for the next, you know.
I don't see rain.
You don't see rain, so it's going to stop again. Okay.
Maybe it's because my eyes are closed, but I don't know. Yeah, well, we see Taras just adding pressure on Micah. Yeah, it's just these kind of tracks, right, that overtaking is so difficult, and it shows, right, that track precision in Silverstone, rather wet, rather dry, it's always very important, and he will keep trying on that, and his real position is this one, because as we see an attack through the outside, watch out in these conditions, because outside the line of grip there is nothing. You can go into the wall fairly easy, even though the walls are very far away. And we will see more attacks from Oliver Taras, but let's see, because this is going to be a long way for him, because you really need to drain the battery from Micah, and this will take laps and laps to do that.
Look at Mitchell, by the way. He's still hanging on to P2, yet to stop. And this is what we were saying as well before the race. It's about doing the minimum amount of pit stops or being on the right tyre at the right time. And Mitchell gambled, and he was, what was he, 10th place after a couple of laps? And yes, he's slower. Obviously, he's got older tyres, but he's still there in P2. And at worst right now, and there's a big gap between Taras and Magnussen, at worst right now, he's going to end up P4. So he's in a great position.
Yeah, he's in a great position. It looks like at least the Inters, from the information we're gathering from, they can do half of the race. So he would, if these conditions keep like this, he would be able to just do one more stop. And the incognita would be for the rest of the drivers. Can they do 28, 30 laps on the Inters as they projected, right? Because now the upper hand, I would say it's even on Luke, even though his tires are old. We maybe expect the others to still do an extra pit stop.
Pascal Pollens, yeah, is the one to watch for me and Taras is now surely going to make that move as well. No, because he's on the wet line on the outside. Mike has held it. Now he's on the inside into Luffield and finally makes that move. And it was just a couple of laps offset, wasn't it, that's helped him get through there on Mateusz Micah. But Micah won't mind too much. It's not like he's being challenged from behind. And it's not a move you want to make into cops on any lap of the race, to be honest with you.
If it's the last lap, yes. If it's the last lap, yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. I would save it for the hangar straight, but that's kind of the only overtaking opportunity. It's Micah just drifting off that drier line, and has the rain stopped yet? That's the question. Is it still going? It's looking like it might have stopped. I think it might have stopped just. So yeah, this is going to be interesting now to see what happens with those guys who swap to slicks, because Pascal Paulet's just did a 44.3, I believe, on slicks, and that's now not too slow.
Well, it's still 3 seconds a lap slower.
Sure.
Yeah, Gobi doing 46.9, a very not competitive time. I think Harris Smith gave up on the soft and changed again to inters, I think. So yeah, I think because the live timing is trolling me a bit. But yeah,
I think he pitted for inters, did he not? I don't think he ever went to softs. Oh, he's on soft now.
Oh, he's still
Sorry,
on soft.
he went. Yeah. So he went to softs. Yeah. So let's keep an eye on his lap times as well. He's a half-tiny driver. Gobi has just done. Okay, so Gobi's just done a PB first sector. So I think this is now almost time for slicks.
I mean, I would say it's too soon. He still lost 1.5 seconds to Alex Little. So no. If any engineer is hearing me, no, don't pit yet.
I said almost.
We don't hear more. Right? That's why we're commentating. We are the experts from Superlights, right? People should learn from us.
Let's see what lap time he does. I reckon this could be relatively competitive. And Polentz has just done a 43.6, so he's only 2.5 off the leader's pace. So we're close, just not yet. As Mitchell is overtaken by Taras for P2.
Yeah, well, but Luke is doing great. I think his fight right now is with Micah. Micah is winning time on Luke, but is not winning a crazy amount of time. I wonder.
Oh, and it's raining.
And it's raining. Yeah, okay, good. Let me see. My weather app says that it's not gonna rain for the next 40 minutes, so someone is tricking with the sensor. Someone is being a naughty person. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna keep in these conditions for quite a while. So what is Luke doing from here, right? Let's see, does he have a gap to pit? Looks like he would be landing behind Leonov, right behind Leonov, or just right side by side. He's racing slower than them, so there is no...
Polentz. Yeah, now because it started raining, of course, it's more tricky, and he's going to abandon that and go for a set of inters. And I don't blame him. It's been a battle, but this is the problem, right? So he's made 2 stops. He's going to lose 40-odd seconds as a result.
Yeah, he's gonna do a third one right now. This is his third one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what I mean. So if he'd have just pitted once and gone to a set of inters, instead he's done 2 extra stops.
Yeah. I mean, you can always set the hearts right now. If it's a hard time, you know, it's the fitting moment.
Zolt Shucks is still out there. He's 9 seconds a lap off the pace, I believe.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, not looking great. So. If last year this was more possible, right, to hold on the dry tires, from the molding team they took notes, and not anymore.
Yeah, and that's good. That's a good thing, to be honest with you, because it's unrealistic. If Loic Mounier at Mexico last year should have finished P17 or something, staying on slicks to the end for 3 laps in essentially almost wet conditions, and.
Yeah, around there. I think we all have lessons to learn, and what is good is we move forward from that. We take notes, and we move forward. But yeah, it looks rather interesting what the drivers are going to do. I guess most of them are gonna try to go till the end with the current tires. Question is, what is Luke gonna do, right? Because regulations state that if you start with a wet tire, you really don't need to follow the rules of setting a different amount of tires. We have no idea what amount of tire left he has, but if he clearly thinks that he's not gonna make it until the end, he should do a pit stop sometime soon, just for the traffic, because you really don't want to overtake too many drivers. We see Herlock smoking. There you go. That engine is gonna die pretty soon. It looks like
they're too tight on cooling. Yeah, they're too tight on cooling.
And especially when you get very close to the drivers in front, the car just collapses in terms of engine temps. And you really need to give a gap. It happens the same in Formula 1, right? That they tell them, hey, give a 1 second gap, give a 1.5 second gaps, because temps are critical. Well, here it's the same as well. So if you really want to finish, or if as we see the res open for the first time. So normally this is an indicator that you can set the dry tires, but clearly it's not the moment for it.
Well, Luke Mitchell just set his PB lap time a couple of laps ago, and Mateusz Michael also is his fastest last lap, 41.4 for him. But as you say, I think it's got to be in the 30s, isn't it? Surely for the crossover. Yeah. Because there's 3 drivers out there on slicks. Gobby, 46s he's in, no pace at all. Polenta's just pitted, of course, and then Federico Russo, who I believe, if we jump to Russo's car, I think he's still on slicks.
Russo, what is Russo doing? He's 43.3. Yes, he's on the soft still. I mean, at this point, I still wouldn't select the price yet.
No, I agree with that. But it's close.
From Alex, right? Alex, how many laps you can do with the soft as the longest? Maybe 16, 17 laps, maybe. And there is 20 laps to go, so you have enough of a gap. You have 12.5 seconds. You're gapping absolutely everyone. You can let yourself just be on track for some extra laps, and then take decisions based on what the
Taras is out!
Oh,
sorry,
wow.
Taras is out. What happened to Oliver?
A disconnection.
Is it?
I know he has had issues with that. He disconnected the Imola, and might be the case.
Ollie.
That was a wobble, and yeah, it looks like a disconnection. Yep.
Oh my days, that's so unfortunate.
So we see a replay of Harry. Harry apparently didn't. Oh. Yeah, and call it a day.
That was close.
Was it with wets? Yeah, he just went to the wet line, probably with the P2P open, and then just you lose the car and it's over. Yeah, call it a day. Yeah, that's why we say it all the time, right? It's really important to keep your mind cool, to try to not, make rush decisions with the strategy, right? And this is the reason. This is exactly the reason why you have to do that.
Yep, absolutely. Right, so I think Mitchell is not far from making a pit stop here. I can't believe that his inters are still going. And the question is, does he go inters or softs or mediums? Or I mean, it's raining right now. Surely you go for a set of inters.
What does the weatherman say? The weatherman says it's gonna rain for the next 15 minutes.
Yes, but it's very light. Russo's abandoned. It must surely be inters. Russo's abandoned the softs. It hasn't updated just yet, but I reckon
double down. Double down. Set another soft. Set another one.
Yeah, no, I'm sure this will update momentarily for a set of inters.
He's still scoring points though, eh?
Mitchell boxes. There we go.
Yeah, this is for inters. There's no chance you go on the softs.
I agree.
You gather the information from other people doing the mistakes, right? And that's why you wait. Yeah, it's not ideal if you are not the first one when it's the right choice to do, but you don't need to be the first one to do sometimes these changes and swaps. You don't need to risk it. You can see others do the mistakes, and that's all.
And don't forget, like we saw Polent, for example, he's gone wets. He's had wets, inters, and softs this race. Made multiple stops. He's down in 13th place, chasing the weather. Mitchell comes out of the pit lane on a fresh set of inters into some nice clean air as well. 3 seconds behind Leonov, who, of course, has essentially undercut him on those inters. But he is now surely going to have extremely good pace in these conditions.
Pavel is also pitting, probably going until the end. And Osvaldo Angelone also pitting for inters. I think everyone is going to be pretty safe here. I don't think anybody else is going to try any other, any other tire. We had a lot of, up runners having issues with Taras with the DC. We had Sandeep Singh also with a crash, and it just gives the value of how important it is to be able to keep the car on track. And very importantly, Lehu almost has a full pit stop on Micah, so he could decide to pit whenever he wants. He really has the race on his hand, and just P3 is 30 seconds behind Alex Lehu. And Markinev, Magnusson, Herlock, as we see other drivers just going as well.
Coming in?
Yeah, I thought it was Herlock. Watch out with the engine. Here.
Yeah, he's got to not rev that car now.
Not only that, he was very close to the drivers in front, so for sure the engine is already hot.
Let's keep an eye on this. This could be interesting. Let's see if he uses any throttle in the pit lane, because he's new to the series this year. Obviously, he's coming back, but it's a historic thing. Look, little bits of throttle. He's worried. He's revving the engine.
It's fine. But let's see. Let's see if it's smoking. You normally smoke in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's okay.
So he looks okay. It looks okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. We don't want anyone to blow the engines, right?
No, it's still raining out there, by the way. And Alex Lehu is dominating this one, as we have alluded to. Mateusz Micah then in a world of his own as well in P2. So it's going to be good points for Micah. He's going to score 20 points, catching up to Aaron Vazquez. And a shout out to Andrzejewski, who was without a front wing on lap 1. You said it's a long old race, and he's recovered to some fairly sensible points. He's just pitted for a fresh set of inters. He's played it pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of a kind of a race, right? You see a lot of people doing mistakes with the strategy, which opens you up opportunities for yourself, right? All these things are, yeah, he could have got it wrong, or he could have rushed changing tires like other people did. So we see Magnusson struggling a lot. So we see Jorge Martinez reacting to Herlock. He understands this track position, as well as we see a PZZW, I think it is, behind.
Leonov, yep.
Yeah, Leonov trying also the same. 16 laps to go. These drivers done about 14 laps on these inters, so it should be pretty easy considering what Luke managed. But I mean, props to Luke, because this year has been doing great championship, and it's not easy to keep on the tires as well on that. So everyone is just pitting now, as we see everyone is just doing the exit right now, as we see Leonov just joining the track behind Herlock, and Martinez keeping this position, which is so important.
And earlier in the race we saw Leonov and Mitchell close on track, but Leonov was on wets, if you remember, and Mitchell on inters. Mitchell's now a full pit stop ahead, and that is what the gamble's bought him. It's bought him a whole pit stop, and he's going to end up P3 because he's miles quicker than Magnusson. Just that last lap was 1.6 seconds quicker. He's a second faster in the first sector as well. So Magnusson on old inters now will have to make a pit stop, as will presumably Micah and Lehu as well. I don't think Lehu's under any danger whatsoever in this race, and Micah is pretty low on tyres as well right now, but he's going to drop behind Mitchell, is Mateusz.
Yeah, Mateusz Yeah, it's going to be behind Mitchell. He will need to make the move on track. But I mean, the smart thing to do for Mateusz is to actually keep on track, make a tire delta, so you increase your chances for overtaking Luke later on. You really don't want to do it right now because you really need a big tire delta to do the moves. So yeah, let's see what Magnusson does. I was expecting him to react, but maybe they acknowledge that position is probably lost right now with Martinez and Herlock. Martinez maybe taking it a bit easier than what Joseph does. From history, from the past years, Joseph, when I was commentating in SL2, he's a driver who is pretty aggressive on the tires, starts really strong, but then keeps losing pace over the stint. So maybe it's his moment to maybe try to do a move on Jorge, which is maybe the opposite thing.
Yeah. I think Herlock will try and make this move sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. He knows he's got some extra pace and obviously we'll try to set about those in front who've still got to pit again and see if you can get within a pit stop of them. I'm looking at, for example, Magnussen is very close to his pit delta as Herlock is once again smoking. He's out! He's out of the race, blowing his engine!
Yep. He was too close to Jorge.
Both Optiminals running way too tight on cooling. And both Optiminals are out.
Yep. You cannot drive that close with such a closed aerodynamics on the car, and when it rains you really need to open it up, and this was a lesson learned from many people in Australia, and then we saw the people doing the same mistake at Jeddah, and then we saw other people doing the same mistake at Malaysia when it rained, but yeah, you are really eager to win these 40-50,000 extra that closing a bit the car gives you. It's not really in top speed, it's more in the downforce side. So yeah, you really want to, as we see Luke Mitchell adding pressure to Patrick Magnusson. Should be fairly easy, just watch out with the power. Yeah, just full power now, P2P, not really gaining distance, but so he will really maybe have to do a launch from a bit further away, as we see. Oh, Magnusson just going a bit wide, so it will be the chance for Luke Mitchell just going through the outside now in Luffield. Will have a great retraction heading into Copse. So will Luke Mitchell just put it together? We know Patrick never makes it easy, so this will be very risky, but I think he will just give up for now and try for later.
This is what I was talking about before the race. So Mitchell, Magnussen and Paulent obviously had that back and forth in the disciplinary committee. That looked very aggressive from Magnussen. He was not letting Mitchell through there. And they've got a history as well before Imola. So I think Mitchell's going to struggle here with Magnussen. Never mind. Magnussen's decided to let him through. Yeah. And that's because if we can get a replay of that, Fabian, the exit of Luffield, if you watch, I think we were slightly on the wrong camera angle, but if you was to watch it, I think Magnussen made multiple direction changes, and I think that was wise because Mitchell would slam dunk's going to report that. But Mitchell moves up to P3 then, and I think Micah and Lahu are either going to try. This is too far forward. If we can go back a bit.
This is too far behind.
Yeah.
Oh no, too far forward. Yeah.
Yeah, this is too far forward.
The incident was after Luffield. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just where he let him through. Don't know if we can go back any further, Fabian.
Well, I mean, knowing each other, probably Kiki just told Patrick, just cool your head. You're in a great position right now. There is no need to risk the position, but well, we will see maybe later after the race this action, and we'll ask Pachakur what it was about it. But yeah, it looks like Alex Lahu is speeding now. I think he will just have right enough the gap to be in front of Micah. I think he's just speeding for comfort, to be honest. There's no reason to keep
Well,
going
I
on.
mean, I think if you look at how many laps Mitchell got out of the tyres, it was about 24, 23 or something like
23,
that.
24, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mike does the same.
Yeah, they've done 20 laps. Well, Mike has done 20 laps on his set. There's no reason to. I mean, I guess they were holding out to see if it dried up, but it looks like there's going to be a bit of rain towards the end of the race.
That was a slow pit stop.
Yeah, it was a slow pit stop. You're not wrong. So he's going to fall behind probably Magnussen here, isn't he?
Yes. He's going to fall behind. Well, not really. Magnussen lost a lot of time.
Yeah, he's behind Magnussen. So
yeah.
Micah just behind Magnussen, I should say. But that's promoted Mitchell then to P2, and I don't think I would have been saying that before the race.
Well, I mean, you just need to be prepared for it. Just practice next time. Look, Mitchell P2.
He's done one stop. He's done one stop. Magnussen's done one stop. Granada Oro's done one stop. Look where Magnussen is, having done one stop. Is he going to try and get to the end? It's going to be tough from there, isn't it? He pitted on lap 10. Surely he's got to stop.
I think he's going long to make sure that he has a good shot on the rest of the drivers that went to undercut him. That is Leonov and Marquinez. As we see, Mateusz Majka just going for the move already into Copse. And Patrick didn't make it especially difficult. Maybe he just didn't have a chance with these tires that are pretty old for the KV86 driver. And we see some rain as well. It's never been really gone, right? It's been our friend all these race. Yeah, let's see. But it looks like right now Majka, his chances to go for a P2 and still would be, but it was looking really bad for Hyperion after the first lap with Pavel with the incident, and it looked like as we see Patrick going for the pits right now, and we'll try to attack on Ivan and Jorge by the end of the race. Yeah, it looked really bad for Hyperion, but it still looks really good and still ahead of his competitors of Taraz and Sandeep, who are scoring another 0-0 for tonight.
Yeah, no, it's Mateusz is and he's quicker than Mitchell actually in that final sector on this lap. So it's not all over for P2, but Mateusz, I think Mitchell probably having only pitted when did he pit? Lap 24. There might be enough time for Micah to get him on with that 8 laps of offset or 7 laps of offset on tyres.
Let's see how it evolves the gaps in the upcoming laps. It will be important to see all this. At the end, we cannot forget these are really tricky conditions, the wet conditions, right? And a mistake can happen anytime. So that's why we only have 17 out of 29 drivers tonight being on, as we see Patrick Magnusson going a bit wide, maybe product of being the Inters being a bit cold out of the pits. He needs to warm them up slightly. So we see he's clearly in front of Meza, 11 seconds behind Leonov and Marquinez. Just to remind, Marquinez was in front of Magnusson and he is 11 seconds clear. Will he have time enough to catch up on Marquinez with a gap of 5 laps of tires?
Yeah, that's the question. I don't think so. It's 11 seconds. It's a long old gap. He's got to be essentially a second of that faster, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to be. But I mean, if a driver we know for him for speed, raw speed, that is Patrick, I think. Will he have tires at the end by pushing this hard? We don't know. But he's a really good and really talented driver. And we saw also last year at Monza how good he was under the rain. And he just needs to put things together. And maybe Kiki's just telling him, calm down. P6 is good enough still. Let's see how it ends.
Yeah, it's a good drive nevertheless, isn't it? P6. I know we've had quite a lot of DNFs, but still a good result for that squad. And points are crucial at this stage of the season for teams like KV86. They had a P5 last time out of San Marino, but before then they were barely scoring points, and now another P6 for Magnussen, a P10 for Polens. I mean, it's Polence has done, it seems like 1,000 pit stops and is still going to end up P10. So shows that if you just stick it out and carry on. I mean, look, Andrzejewski, no front wing on the first lap, could easily have given up P9 and potentially going to get P8. He's closing slightly on De Chutis by a few tenths a lap. He might just about have enough. If he can increase that to about 3 tenths per lap, he might have enough to just catch De Chutis before the end.
I have a very bold statement, I think, as well. I think if Toby Davis was racing tonight, he would be P18. Imagine.
I don't have any pace in these cars these days.
Still in front of Herlock. Your engine will keep running.
Yeah. I mean, I am awful in these cars these days. I'm like 2 seconds off the THR guys. So
I mean, they're great, aren't they? So it's normal, I would say. Ooh, as we see Ivan also going a bit wide here in the end. We've seen Ivan closing on Marquinez, and yeah, Marquinez will definitely try to keep this fourth position, because you never know. You never know when a mistake from the drivers in front or anything can happen. We have seen it so far in this race. And even makes a return from GPV. I can't really remember when was the last season he participated. But he's been off from sim racing for about 3 years, I would say. 3 to 4 years. So coming back and doing a P5 in these conditions, doing a very steady and sturdy race, I would say it's a great result for him.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And keeps the points tally ticking over nicely, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah. By the way, what does the waterman say? Because it looks like... yeah, no, it's still raining. And like another cut for Ivan there. So watch out on that.
It's raining, but slightly.
It's raining.
Yeah, it's like
raining.
Drizzle. But enough to keep the wetness on the track. There's that dry line we saw briefly for a few laps has disappeared, gone back to being damp but still visible. But you've got these patches of full wet condition offline, haven't you? You can see those puddles of water down the Hanger Straight there, and that is the issue, isn't it? Is if you don't have an extended period of dry, they just stay, and it means that it can make overtaking difficult, especially offline. When you have to throw it up the inside of someone. So Leonov and Marquinez then, the closest battle on track, and Leonov is matching his lap times as well, so happy to sit here for a few laps, I'd imagine. There's 8 laps to go in the race after this one.
Oh, Micah is catching on, look.
He is.
Micah is catching slowly.
Yeah,
very slowly.
Lap, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like Mitchell has the upper hand on Mateusz on this. It looks like he's gonna keep the position, and for Patrick Curry, it looks like he's not gonna have a chance either on Jorge and Ivan, because it looks like he's just doing the same lap times right now. He just got massively undercutted, and there is not really a chance for him. I see some drivers going slow, but I don't really see any opportunities here and there. It's just this fight that we're seeing right now with Ivan. And yeah, maybe if Luke's tires go a bit down, maybe we can see a fight between Micah and Luke. But it looks like it's just regular 3 tenths faster, and with the very low amount of laps we have remaining. I think this is gonna be it for them. Just a really commanding victory for Alex Lehoux if he manages to get into the finishing line.
Yeah, it's petered out a little bit this race. Alex Lehoux's going to win by half a minute. He's still the fastest driver on track. He has been all race, and frankly has been unbelievably good today. And
yeah,
it's shows. I so wish he could replicate this in Super League, because he's such a talented driver. It frustrates me. I can't tell you how much it frustrates me, because he's so good. And just last season just didn't put the effort in that I felt his talent deserves. Do you know what I mean? So it's he's been unbelievable. We've not spoken about him too much because he's been miles quicker than everyone else today. He could have pitted. He could have started on Inters and won by another 30 seconds almost today, and he started on wets. Did that extra pit stop over Luke, and still going to end up half a minute ahead, showing how dominant he's been. He's half a second a lap quicker than the King's driver right now. And yeah, it's been...
There is something very important that, for example, a football coach said this week, right? It was Mourinho, actually, who's not World Cup related, but like when you look for a player or when you look for a driver, you don't look for, oh, this guy is very fast, but it's inconsistent, or doesn't have the physique, or doesn't have the mentality. At the end, everything goes together when you do the overall rating of a driver, right? You could see drivers that are insanely fast, that they are able to put unbelievable lap times, but then when it comes to the race management, or when it comes to the mentality, when you need to be sturdy in those very difficult moments and be able to crawl back from behind, this also matters. It's part of the rating, and I think it's something you can work as much as you can work your pace, I would say. So it's just about Alex really wanting it to have. There's really nothing else he needs to. He has the racecraft. He just needs to put the effort. Needs to put everything on his side to just keep mentally sturdy. I know him. He's insane. I can't really express how great he is. He's able to out-qualify everyone with just 4 or 5 qualifying attempts, which is insane at this level. But yeah, it's not enough to do 4 or 5 qualifying attempts, right?
No, exactly. And always Angeloni runs wide through the final couple of corners. It's really scary, those last couple of corners, if you get on that outside curve, especially in these wet conditions if you're offline as well. We saw what happened to Sandeep Singh just on the track through the last couple of corners. It's a proper traction zone, that, and it's a really good track, Silverstone, these days. Like the modernisation that happened in 2010 has really transformed the track into a proper challenge in multiple different areas of car setup and driving. And you have these fast sweeping corners of Maggott and Beckett's. You've got off camber corners like Stowe. And then you come into a really technical club section. It's just complete variance of things that you need the car to do, and it always provides a good race. As a result, I think, because you have these strengths and weaknesses of the cars, and of course we've not talked about upgrades today as well. But you can have different upgrades that can help you with different areas of the track too.
Yeah, well, we haven't talked about upgrades. There are some cars that are a bit more upgraded than others. One of them was the Apex GP, was one of the most upgraded cars alongside others, but definitely more upgraded than the Kings and the Hyperion. And Alex, I can remember he was using a new engine. I can't tell for Luke. I can't tell for I will check, but yeah, it's being quite an interesting one. Yeah, let's see how the teams are receiving the tokens, because as far as I'm aware, they haven't received the tokens yet. So the in-season tokens, they're waiting for those. And yeah, we will see how the cars are evening out, because yeah, you can develop very fast, but at the same time, if you develop very fast, since you're token limited, you will be able to catch up later on. So in terms of amount of upgrades at the end of the season, most of the cars would be similar with different choices. But yeah, and that's
how is I've not looked in a few days. How is it looking token wise in Super League? Is it the same situation?
The situation in Super League is not as critical. They have enough tokens until the summer break. They are not halving tokens right now, whereas in Superlights there are. In Superlights, I think there are just 2 ways you can do the car. In Super League, I think there are 4. There is it's a bit more wide open. In Superlights, I would say there is just one main one, and then there is a secondary, but it's very secondary. At the end, I think most of the cars will be pretty much the same in Superlights. And I was checking the engines now, because I just got the info. Altiminal was running new engines tonight, and they blew up, which the new engines, they also have a bigger lifespan. They still managed to.
They must have been really tight on calling somehow. I don't fully understand that because they all share setup work with one another in that group. So that group being Hyperion Kings and Optiminal, and we haven't seen any issues at all for Luke Mitchell. We saw a little bit of smoke, didn't we, from one of the Hyperions, I think.
Yeah.
But apart from that, nothing at all. And both Optiminals blew up after the pit stops. And Herlock's was a long time after the pit stop. It was just in
traffic,
dirty air.
yeah.
Yeah, so he must have damaged the engine a lot earlier in the race somehow. But here's the closest battle on track. Angeloni half a second behind Polenz. Micah is almost within second of Mitchell, so that one is actually going to come to a battle. We'll keep an eye on that gap and switch to it when they get a little closer. I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect DRS
Leonov
is currently not. Is Leonov out?
Leonov overtook Martinez, and we didn't notice about that. It's actually 3 seconds away even.
We were waffling.
Yes, we were waffling.
6 minutes ago, Fabian's just told us. Do you have a quick replay of that? Here we go.
Oh, okay,
This is...
it's even ready. After 6 minutes, it could. Yeah, let's see. Maybe it was a DRS overtake, but it was fairly. No, it's not a DRS overtake. It was fairly close.
Yeah, I don't think DRS is operating right now, but yeah, down the inside goes Leonov and Magnussen trying to fight him back, but no chance. So that's what happened there. Let's go back to live action then. So Angeloni still very close behind Pascal Polenz. Trying to make that move.
Very close as well to Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping an eye on that gap because as that comes down, we've got 3 laps to go after this. Lap 41, 42, and 43. So let's see if I think Mike is now within 6/10. Let's go to that battle. Closed in a lot. Mitchell must have made a small error at the start, or maybe on the exit of Copse. And Micah, with those fresher tyres, by what, 7-8 laps did we work it out to be? He should be able to get by Luke, but Luke can be very comfortable with P3. He's 17 seconds clear of Leonov, and I think he's my driver of the day. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
I know Alex Lehu's won by 30 seconds, but Mitchell has. This is the race that Mitchell's come back to that sort of form he showed towards the end of last season, results-wise.
Yeah, I was thinking also of Pavel, the resilience that Pavel had to manage to maybe get. Ooh, as we see a big slide from Mateusz there. But Pavel is also in contesting for P8 as well. So maybe there is room for even more improvement in the Hyperion squad. It's definitely not going to be easy. Not entirely sure how Weiling they're, Weiling they want to risk, these positions. They definitely have gap behind. No, Micah has 17 seconds, and Andrzejewski has 13 seconds on the rainbow strat of Pascal Polenz tonight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we see other drivers that are also losing time by the tires. We see Magnusson catching on Martinez, but I don't think it will be enough. Probably Martinez tires gave up, and Leonov is just easy overtake. But yeah, Micah is not going to have it easy at all.
As the rain comes lashing down, Micah trying to get up to the back of Luke Mitchell. It's staying around 6/10. We're on the penultimate lap of the race. These guys aren't, but Lehu is so far ahead. He is. And Angeloni yet to make that move on Polenz as well. As you say, Andrzejewski has slowly and gradually caught Jacutis and will be very happy if he can sneak a P8 here. That will be an excellent result for Pavel, considering he had no front wing and had to do a whole lap of the race with no front wing on that first lap. He must have lost, what, 40 seconds or something by the end of the first lap to the leaders.
So, I would say 50.
50, yeah. And he's currently what? I can't even work this out. He's probably like 100. He's probably like 80 seconds off. So obviously, and so he would be in like contention for this battle right now.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely he will have had a great race, but this is what happens when you don't do a great qualifying session, right?
Yeah,
That shows how important it is just for safety itself.
yeah, because you put yourself in danger of that sort of nonsense happening on lap one to you, and it's so tricky to get a good qualifying in a mixed session like we had, where it was. I mean, obviously it was, when was the best conditions, and it turned out to be right at the end, and Pavel unable to get that lap together right at the end of the session. Look how much grip Micah has through the high-speed corners compared to Mitchell. It's the newness of the tyres. There is no DRS, of course, still, but Micah trying to make this work on battery power alone, but unable to right now, and it shows how tricky Silverstone is to overtake it. And now Micah in the dirty air has run wide and lost a couple of tenths there as well. They're coming up to lap Perseus Miram, who also, by the way, has stuck this out and stayed out on track. And it only takes one more DNF, and he's going to pick up a point. But currently about to be lapped, gets out of the way nicely, not going to ruin that one as Alex Lahou starts the final lap of the race. And let's just briefly talk about Alex. What a race from him.
Yeah, what a race from him. This is what we know from Alex, the SL2 champion from 2024. Although I want to focus on what we see now. Ooh, super defensive from Luke, but now it might pay off for Mateusz because he will be super close. And let's see who activates the push to pass first. And they're just gonna go full defensive here. He will need to go through the outside, moving twice here in the straight. Not gonna have a chance now, but he's gonna be looking forward to another really chance in the third sector.
Yeah, it's the end of the hangar straight into Stowe is going to be the last probable opportunity.
Or even now.
For Micah. Micah, do you think he's close enough? I don't think he's quite close enough for Cops. And who knows what their battery levels are like. They do replenish this season.
And Alex is about to finish the race even. It's crazy.
Yeah, oh, and this is Angeloni trying to stay on the lead lap, isn't it, with Polens? But Polens is going to get him. And that means that Polens is going to stay on the lead lap. Angeloni has been lapped. But great victory from Alex Lahou. Really good drive from him. Let's see who's going to get P2 then. Mitchell on the battery button. They will both be using up all of their final resources. It looks like Mitchell is going to hang on to a brilliant P2, with Micah taking good championship points off Aaron Vasquez, who is in America right now. Yeah, it's not going to happen for him. Mitchell's going to take P2 for Kings. P3 is going to go to Mateusz Micah in the Hyperion. And great drives by both of them as Micah is minded not to crash. He's frustrated, but a great result from the pair of them there. Leonov has driven superbly as well in that PZZW. If he started on Inters, he'd be right up there with these two. Pavel Andrzejewski isn't going to catch Dechutis, I don't think, on this lap. So Leonov P4, Marquinez P5, Magnussen is coming through in P6, Lewis Mesa P7, and then these two, Dechutis versus Andrzejewski. I think Dechutis has got enough. Andrzejewski over a second back as we head into the final couple of corners. It's raining quite heavily now, by the way, as we come through. And yeah, in fact, it's full wet conditions on the final lap of the race. Look, pounding down, but Dechutis taking P8, Andrzejewski following him in P9. Pascal Polens then, we saw him, he's got a whole lap to complete. And Angeloni, Granda Oro, Russo, Lucchini and Gobbi rounding out the points as Polens coming into the final couple of corners now to finish his race. And Perseus Miram does indeed finish a couple of laps down.
Yeah, I mean, even the drivers who had major issues during the race were able to score points, and shows how important it is, to never give up, keep the pressure and resilience, sturdiness. Yeah, it's insane. And then we have Alex. What Alex did tonight is beyond any benchmark. We saw him in qualifying being miles over everyone, and then at the beginning of the race he was also pulling away. He had the perfect package for tonight: the best upgraded car and the best engine and the best driving. So
yep,
best thing one to play.
Absolutely, well done to Alex Lahou, a former Superlights champion, and clearly a very big talent indeed. And that was his final race in Superlights this season as an emergency driver. We didn't actually explain that, but you can only do a certain number of races as an emergency driver, his main series FS1. But congratulations, Alex. Let's go through the final results quickly then. Just to repeat that Alex Lahoo won by 37 seconds in the end from Luke Mitchell, with Mateusz Schmeichel rounding up the podium. Leonov for PZZW, a great result for him. Jorge Martinez in 5th. Patrick Magnussen ending up 6th, but that's a decent result for KB86 as well. Lewis Mesa for the other Brame in 7th. Chutis in 8th. Pavel Andrzejewski finishing 9th after that early damage. He's recovered well, with Pascal Polenz. Many stops, a few points. Angeloni P11, Granada Ora 12th. Russo, Lacini and Gobbi rounding out the points for Santon and Stax respectively, with Perseus Miram the only other finisher. We lost Joel Schucks, Joseph Herlock, Oliver Taras, Harry Smith, Fernando Guerrero, Sandeep Singh, Ruben Macheda, Victor Bernat, Scott Flack, Giuseppe Saracino, and then early on Menno Clant, and on the first lap Dan Scott and Scott Mitchell-Mum.
Got a fact for you. There was a triple Scott crash in turn 1. Scott Flack, Daniel Scott, and Scott Mitchell-Mum.
Yes, that's
a fact.
Nicely confusing for my poor little brain.
Oh, Scott crashed into Scott and Scott is out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think everyone is taking like a deep breath, taking air after this race, which was very hectic, and we were waiting for them here in the interview room. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to probably interview Luke, and also to interview probably Pascal, to know who was like to face such conditions, high ends, low ends as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, seems like so far nobody's joining. So what is up next?
We'll try and get some. I'm hopeful that we can speak to Luke Mitchell, to be honest, and Alex Lahoo is always around for a chat at some point. So let's see whether they come along. But yeah, good race. Thank you for joining me, Carlos. I appreciate that a lot. Last minute Alex Foulkes was just late back home, unfortunately for him, so unable to commentate today. He missed a great one, to be fair.
It just costed 00 from Netrex. That was the price for it.
How do you reckon? Is it my fault?
No, it's not. I will have won by 40 seconds over Alex, and that's all.
Right, okay.
Will have been a good fight.
I'll believe that on Thursday. Is Alex racing on Thursday?
No.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Who's in the Spark team? Because there's no Vathkins either.
In the Spark team. In the Spark team is Oscar. Oh,
Oscar's back.
Yeah, Oscar's back. He finished exams. So I will drag Luke Mitchell here.
Yep.
Hello, Mr. Luke.
Hello.
So explain us a bit through the joy of finishing P2 tonight. How did you face this early stage stint right in the inters where everyone was in the wets? How did you feel about that, and how rightful you thought you were when you took this decision at the beginning of the race?
It felt okay at the start, and then obviously as people were wearing through the wets, obviously it was getting better and better. So it was fun. It was in qualifying. I put the wets on for one run and realised how big the wear was, even though it was obviously very wet. So I was a bit against the wets from the start, and then we back and forth discussing it, and then I just thought let's just take the gamble and see where it puts us. And obviously it was the right decision. So very happy with that.
And Luke, obviously, at some point it was drying. At some point it was like, is it going to rain again? Like, how do you get through those phases of the race? What was your thinking?
Well, thankfully Scott retired very early, so he became the engineer because we didn't have one. So that was very helpful. So he was giving us sort of like the weather update. And And it was quite clear quite early that it was just going to be a case of take them intermediates as long as you can and just try and make it a one stop. We was hoping it was going to turn into a intermediates to softs, but then when the rain started again and we saw the other guys on the dries really struggling, it was quite clear that it was just straight back to intermediates and then just go again. So I was threatening over Mateus coming up behind. I was watching the gap and thankfully obviously had enough to hold him back. So
Absolutely. And P2, a great result for Kings. Hopefully this can kickstart the second half of the season for you guys.
Yeah, we're hoping that we can sort of be in around the top 8, both cars at most races. We've had the pace quite a lot this year to do that. Scott's been really quick this year, especially compared to last year, and we're able to push on. So hopefully, yeah, we can continue to get some good results. I mean, this one is an outlier. We didn't have any prep for this. Obviously, with the heat that we've had over the last week, just did not want to be in this sim room. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, we can move it forward and sort of try and get further up the table with both of us. So
yeah, well, that was a really great one. And next time I suggest you look that if you guys have no engineers, we are doing live engineering in the broadcast, so you just can tune in with us. We were pitch perfect with the moments, you know, when to pit and everything. So just next time, you know, maybe even sound off, just put your tablet next to you, it's just subtitles on, and then perfect. You have Toby Davis as an engineer and an engineer myself. That's the best one, I would say.
So what's the YouTube delay on?
Like
20
5 seconds.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that could be an issue. But no, yeah,
I mean,
maybe I'll just join in the waiting room. Just bring me into the broadcast, and I'll just race live.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. How are the emotions now at Kings? Because it's been a really great season, I would say. There was some ups and downs in terms of finishing races, but how are the hopes right now? What is Kings now aiming for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we're really enjoying this year. Actually, obviously, it's much nicer when you're both more competitive. So we are enjoying it. Obviously, we work with a great bunch of guys. Obviously, the Hyperion boys who done great this round. Obviously, they done most of the setup work with Reuven, and we managed to sort of jump on that for today. But yeah, no, as Kings, I think we're just sort of trying to move forward, and like I said a minute ago, I think the aim is to try and be top 8 with both cars each time. The DNFs that I've had quite good pace in those. I had good pace at Imola, and obviously things transpired. That's fine, it's racing, but yeah, I think we've got a good package. I think we can be in and amongst it for the rest of the season. The guys right at the front, I think, are just slightly too quick for us, but when things happen like today with obviously Taras disconnecting, Sandeep having a crash, obviously we can benefit from that if we're the next set of cars. So that's what we'll aim for.
Nice. Thank you, Luke. We will hopefully speak to you again very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Very happy Luke Mitchell leaves us. Let's quickly speak to Mateusz Majka before we speak to Alex Lehu, who was our race winner. But Mateusz, a good result in the end. It was hard work to get there. Talk us through your race.
Good evening, guys. Honestly, the race was very enjoyable. I was not expecting in some point of the race this result. But yeah, unfortunately for the Netrex group, Sandeep made a mistake, and which was crushed me. Oliver got connection lost. So yeah, to be honest, if there's not two things, I will finish P5, which maybe will not be that bad result, even though with the gap of the engine and upgrades of this on this race. Yeah, quite hard one. I think my settings was not enjoyable on the rainy condition. I was really struggling, and when the track was starting to dry, I was going, I think, very fast, but when the rain was dropping on the track, I was 1 second slower than Alex, so very big gap.
Yeah, he won by absolutely miles today, Alex, and obviously had a good package, setup, car, engine, upgrades, everything
Great.
worked for him. But still, you're closing in on Aaron Bafketh. Is that something you're still looking at, or is it all about the team's championship right now? How do you feel about that moving forwards?
I'm focusing 100% on myself. Currently not looking on the standings. I don't see point here. I just drive and try make the best result on each round, and we will see how it goes.
I've a question, Mateusz, because we have seen Pyrion lacking a bit of upgrades for this race. Is there any explanation or any logic you guys have thought about this? Why you guys are behind compared to other teams?
I think it mostly depends on what direction the teams went, and right now, whole Networks group was on this round very much in the front. But as I talked with the Pavel, it should be quite good for us on the next round, as our upgrades will be done.
I was looking now because Networks brought bodywork and was it front wing for this race? They put 2, and Hyperion was essentially with mass, so it was lacking an MK2 and an MK3, and I guess you guys are bringing exactly this. You will guys bring an MK or 2 MK3s, either MK3 front wing and floor, or either bodywork and one of the other MK2s you guys have.
Yeah, that's correct. As I remember, that's correct.
Yeah.
But
Well,
to be honest, if you want more details, you should ask Pavel, because he's doing all the stuff. And I don't even put much practice before the season, and just trusted him. And I'm 100% sure that it will pay off, and he made a good decision.
Yeah, but I'll just have one last thing to say. In less than 1 month, I will be officially living in Warsaw. I hope we can have a really nice peoples together. Eh?
I mean, yeah, even if you want, I can call for the Pavel. He can go
of course.
on to us from the free city, and we can meet, of course.
Yes, of course. Take care and gratulacje, Mateusz.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matthias. Right, so final person then, and I know Fabian wants to go and watch some more football shortly, is Alex Lehoux. Congratulations, Alex, today. Bonjour. Ça va?
Impeccable, et toi?
I'm okay, bien.
Baguette.
Right. Alex, so you've dominated another race in Superlights. It was absolute domination today. What clicked?
Oh, just the car, like. Wait. Oh, that's okay. That's a soundboard, bro moment.
I was hijacking my headphones then.
I thought it was like an advertisement playing on YouTube, but was it what? No, right. Well, I guess the car was good. Like, the car was good to drive in dry and wet conditions. Well, that was super mega. It was such a mega car to drive somehow. I despised it in the first hour of testing, like a few days ago. I despised it so much, and now I like it.
Yeah, of course. When you win, you like it, no?
Oh, quiet.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, so that's all right. That rounds out your races for Superlights. What are your plans now for the rest of the season?
Well, I think the plan is just to FS1 until, well, hopefully I can get the title wrapped up as soon as I can, and then possibly maybe do a few races in Superlights full time until the end, and then that would be the end of the season. I mean, maybe I have absolutely no idea. It's just speculation for now, but we will see.
Fair enough.
No,
If FS1 is done, then lights.
Many
Nice.
many teams will be liking to sign Alex Lehu on full time, and so for sure you will have opportunities within many teams who wouldn't like to sign Alex. It's a leader, a guy who can build setups, strategy, and yeah, who wouldn't like to?
Well, I guess it's time to go to THR. Time to get signed.
No, you actually have to do practice in THR.
How was it? Like flash in the pan?
Oh yeah,
Flash
well,
in the pan practice.
yeah. It's clearly not a flash in the pan in Superlights. Let's you have to prove me wrong in Super League next season though, Alex. You've got to commit to it, man. You're so much better than I think you let on. To be honest with you.
Yeah, the problem is the commitment. I'm like, I have a contract with my job until November, so I will have no clue what I will be doing, like hours and stuff. I mean, there's still months to go from November to February, March.
Yeah, but we all have jobs. I mean, Yaltayan has a full-time
I know.
job.
I know, but I almost ended up homeless at the start of the year, so you know what I mean. Thank you, my parents.
I know what he means.
Like I did FS1 as like an emergency drive because I was like, wait, I can finally drive in GPV, so I'm not gonna be like driverless, like not driverless, seatless.
Yeah.
So I can like, I can do FS1 still because FS2 they denied me because of stuff like regulations, rules, smurfing rules. They denied me the FS2 thing, so I went to FS1 instead. At least to drive in something, to be on the grid.
I mean, it wouldn't have been right to drive in FS2, knowing kind of performance you can do. But we hope for absolutely the best for you, Alex. What Toby is trying to say is, everyone knows how good and how talented you are, and besides your personal things in life, we wish you can put all this together and be able to also put an effort in Super League. That's what Toby says, and he also hopes that you can find a stable situation in life that then you can just put everything together.
Yeah, it should be good. Thank you guys, but I'm starting to save up some money, some crazy money actually. So yeah, not much to pay when you're being hosted. So not bad. But I'll try to.
I hope for you that it works out for you, because certainly sim racing wise, you're incredibly talented, and I'm a big fan of your talent.
Thanks, man.
So just to be clear, and I'm frustrated that you were unable to, show it in Super League. To be honest with you, that was really my opinion last season.
Yeah, that sucked. Well, last season I would consider my two most practiced races to be Australia and Spa, and those two I had the best result out of them. I got double podium, so.
Hey, Spa you got lucky. Spa you got lucky. Come on.
What do you mean I got lucky? I won on the hards instead of the mediums.
You got a podium after penalties. Come on.
True.
Yeah,
but I also I got unlucky because I lost more than 10 seconds being on the hards instead of the mediums.
Let's not worry about.
Anyway,
great result today, Alex.
Yeah,
and
that was nice.
Thank you very much for coming to speak to us. Appreciate it a lot. And hopefully then later on in the season, after you've wrapped up the FS1 title, we can be talking to you again.
Don't jinx it. Not yet. Yeah, thank you guys. I will see you soon, and maybe if we catch up at GPV Day, I will get you guys a pint.
Oh, cheers, mate. Appreciate that a lot. We'll see. We'll have to see
Guys
where
on
it is.
stream, that is
I will
on
throw it to
tape.
your face.
Blah 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 blah. All right.
Thanks, Alex.
Cheers, guys. See you around.
Ciao. Right. That was
wow.
Alex Lehu. It is. Yes, but everyone says ciao everywhere. Au revoir, it's like. Anyway. Bon voyage, more like for him. Right.
Or a Peterson for the Mannschaft yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. They were rubbish, weren't they? No, Norway are through, and if you're watching the World Cup, like I am, we've got DR Congo tomorrow, and that should be fun. Picking up my daughter early to stick her in her English kit.
Do you know how to say win in Spanish?
I know how to say "come on" in Spanish.
Yeah, but win.
Win.
It's called
I mean,
Ghana.
I-
Literally.
I
Ghana.
really hope that we face you in the final and smash you after 2 years ago. We've got a different manager now. We haven't got Southgate, so it should be a bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got no strikers.
Yeah. I couldn't give any more.
Careful. Right. Final thoughts on the race, then, Carlos, and then we'll leave poor Fabian to have a nice evening.
Wet, Weatherman, Alex Lehoux. That's
Love
my
it.
thoughts.
Love it. Thank you for joining me, Carlos Martin, today, and I'm sure he might fill in again at some point this season, but we should be back with Alex Foulkes in 2 weeks' time. Don't miss Super League on Thursday. It should be a great race. There's a couple of championships up for grabs there. Loic Mounier has had a decent start to the season, defending his title, leads the championship well, but has struggled in the last 3 races to be right at the sharp end of the field. And we've seen the return of Jarl Tyen to the podium as well. So should be a good fun one, I reckon, on Thursday. But I've been Toby Davis. I've been joined by Carlos Martin. Thank you to Fabian Jungbluth on cameras. We will be back soon. But until then, thanks for watching.
I'm not pitting on Thursday.